Alright guys, we're out here watching the birds. And who is we? We is my loft manager and I. What's up, Romeo?
What's up, bud?
We are discussing our next course of action. Similar to last year, guys, we've had a lot of respiratory issues, a lot of one-eye colds. It's been an up and down roller coaster with these birds, and I've searched far and wide. I've searched every freaking website I can find. I've opened every book I can find, every book that I own, to find a remedy for this, to find a cure for it without using medication, to find a reason for it. And even though I'm going to eat crow, it's something that needs to be said, and it really boils down to overcrowding. That's the conclusion I drew, guys. And the reason I came out, the way I came across this was through a website I found through the CU, the Canadian Union, where they have a rule, a mandate that you're allowed 2 square feet per bird. So if that really does apply in terms of pigeon space, that section there, that loft, the racing section is 8 by 10. That's roughly 80 square feet. If we divide that by 2, we're looking at 40 square feet. We're looking at 40 pigeons. 40 birds is what I can keep comfortably in that section. I currently have 90 plus. Mind you, I've already had over 100, but I've already had to remove some birds. And I'm not shy to remove a bird. I'm not shy to remove or call a sick pigeon by any means, guys. The problem is, when do you stop? When do you stop removing birds because they're getting sick and start realizing maybe they're getting sick because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, or you're simply overcrowding? And what happens when you overcrowd? They get stressed. Even though I have 120 perches in there, they get stressed. No bird wants to just sit on one perch. They want to stretch their wings. They want to move around. It's tight. Bird on top of bird when I feed them. The troughs, and I have 3 troughs in there, and still bird on top of bird. They're getting stressed, and that stress brings out the sickness. And here I am chasing it, trying to get the win with medication. I absolutely hate medicating the birds. If I have to, I have to. I don't mind medicating breeders before the breeding season to get them right, to get them clean. But with the racers, I want to see natural immunity. And unfortunately, it's my fault that they're getting sick. It sucks. It is what it is. Like I said, you guys can, draw your own conclusion, but that's the conclusion I drew. I thought I can remedy that by adding the mechanical fans, the electric fans in there, the mechanical means of ventilation. I simply can't get above that. I darken. That's my means of pigeon management. And because I darken, I have to obviously close all the vents out. I have to make the loft as dark as possible. That's where I use my fans, and it's just not enough. Once I put them on the dark, they start to fall apart. And trust me, once you have respiratory in a couple birds, you have respiratory in all of them. Whether they show the symptoms or not, you have it through the loft. So now what? Now there's going to be some changes. Now I got to remove more birds. I got to reduce, I should say. I currently have 21 pair of breeders. Clearly, there's no reason to have 21 pair of breeders if I don't have the space for the young birds. What's the golden number? I don't know, 10 pair, 12 pair. I want to get at least 6 babies per pair of birds to truly test that pair of pigeons. So I have to do the math. I want to be somewhere around 40 to 50 birds max in that section. I think 50 is okay. That's just under 2 square feet per bird, but it's not horrible. It's definitely not 100. And I like to, once I find that number, then I'll reduce the breeders as such. And it's tough because you guys have seen in the last few years I've done pretty well. I think I've come across some pretty good pigeons. Definitely breeders, definitely race winners. So which ones do you get rid of? Which birds do you keep? Which ones do you get rid of? It's tough. It's a tough call to make. I want to keep them all. For some of us, 20 pair might seem like a lot of pigeons, but for most of us, 20 pair, I can name them all individually. It's not that tough. I love having a big team of birds. I want to go into the season with 75 birds. That's our limit. That's what I want to race come race day. I simply can't do it anymore. I don't want to deal with the stress of the sick bird. I don't know how to explain it, guys. It frustrates me beyond belief when I go in there and I hear birds coughing and sneezing and wheezing. They can't breathe. Their mouths are open. Eyes are dripping. And I know these birds are decent pigeons. I know they have good immunities. The siblings, the nestmates from last year had decent immunity. So why are they getting sick? And it sucks that I think that it's me that's doing it. It's because I'm keeping just too many. I do get a lot of birds from different guys, and I don't think that's an issue because I'm not having any other sort of illnesses, I should say. I simply have respiratory related problems. If it's not the sneezing and the breathing and the mucus in the throat, it's the birds with the one eye cold, also a respiratory condition. So here we are. Romeo and I are discussing it. We've come to the conclusion that we're just going to medicate. It is what it is, guys. I mean, I can't keep pulling heads. I can't keep calling birds. I want the birds to do well, and if this is the course of action that we have to take, that's just what we have to do. And it sucks, but it is what it is. What else can I say, guys? Don't keep too many. I know I've talked about it in the past. I've preached about it in the past, and here I am doing the same thing. So listen to me, don't listen to me. I'm sharing with you guys my sorrows. It is what it is, guys. I'm keeping too many birds, and I simply can't. I don't have this loft space for it. Learn from my mistake, guys. Don't keep too many. Fight the urge to add another. Fight that urge. So when they get sick, it's so frustrating to watch them fall apart. To not even get a chance to race them, man, it's frustrating. I can't take it anymore. It's the kind of problems that you want to get out of the sport. It's like, man, I've never had these issues. You're just having birds, and the moment you want to get a good team, the moment you want to have a good team going into the races, now these problems arise. But then again, I've never had 100 youngsters, have I? So there you go. It is what it is, guys. Like I said, that's the conclusion I drew. I looked at everything in my loft. I've compared it to many good lofts. I don't see a real difference, and yet mine are getting sick, and it's the same illnesses. Well, guys, that's it for the day. I like to get up and show you guys some more birds. I just don't have the energy. I figure a quick update. Romeo and I are going to get back on topic here, and we'll see you on the next one.